will be a new competitor in the market to compete with Windows, Mac, Linux, and all.
August 2025, Google announces something that changes everything. Android is coming to laptops and desktops, not Chrome OS. Android, the full Android operating system that runs on 3 billion smartphones worldwide, will now run on traditional computers. Google partnered with Lenovo, HP, and Dell to launch Android PC devices in November 2025. These aren't hybrid tablet laptops. They're standard clamshell laptops running Android as the primary operating system. The value proposition is devastating to Windows. Every Android app, 3.5 million of them, works on Android PCs. Every game, every productivity app, every streaming service, all optimized for touch and keyboard, all available instantly, no learning curve. Users already know Android from their phones. The Android PC is just bigger screen running familiar software. Price points start at $249, less than half what Windows PCs cost. No Microsoft licensing fees. Google provides Android free to manufacturers. Hardware requirements are minimal. Android runs smoothly on processors Windows would choke on. The market response is immediate. Pre-orders exceed projections by 470%. Retailers are scrambling for inventory. Consumers are excited about affordable computers running software they already use on phones. And Microsoft is in full panic, because Android PC threatens to do what Linux couldn't provide: familiar, user-friendly Windows alternative with massive software ecosystem. Bill Gates, who spent decades fighting Google, watches Android succeed where Windows is failing. The world is abandoning Windows for operating system that respects users, costs nothing, and runs software people actually want. Microsoft has no response. The Windows era is ending. The Android era is beginning. The Android advantage Windows can't match.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say here. Android for PC is actually going to be a good.
Android PC's killer advantage is ecosystem. Windows has maybe 50,000 actively maintained desktop applications. Most are legacy software from the 2000s and 2010s. Many haven't been updated in years. The software ecosystem stagnated because Windows desktop development became less attractive. Mobile apps are where developers focus. Android has 3.5 million active applications, modern apps, updated regularly, optimized for touch and voice, everything users want. The transition from phone to PC is seamless. User already has Android phone, already signed into Google account, already installed favorite apps. Buy Android PC. Sign in with same Google account, all apps automatically available. No reinstalling, no transferring files manually, no setting up email again. Everything syncs instantly through Google account. Photos, contacts, messages, calendar, apps, settings, preferences. The Android PC knows you immediately because Google's Cloud Sync makes it effortless. App compatibility is total. Every app that runs on Android phone runs on Android PC. Might need layout adjustments for bigger screen, but functionality is identical. WhatsApp on your phone, same WhatsApp on Android PC with full message history. Instagram, same Instagram with all your photos and followers. TikTok, same TikTok with your feed. Banking apps work identically. Game progress syncs automatically. There's zero friction. Windows can't offer this because Windows Phone died. Microsoft has no mobile ecosystem to leverage. Android PC benefits from Google's mobile dominance. Gaming is particularly compelling. Google Play has 500,000 plus games. Many are better than PC games because mobile game development is massive industry. Android PC runs all of them, with keyboard and mouse support where appropriate, with controller support for action games, and with Google Play Games cloud saving. Your game progress syncs between phone and PC seamlessly. Start game on phone during commute. Continue on Android PC at home. Same saves, same progress. Windows gaming requires Steam, Epic, or other launchers. Requires buying PC versions separately from mobile versions. Android gaming is unified ecosystem. Productivity apps are enterprise ready. Microsoft Office has excellent Android versions. Google Workspace is native Android. Slack, Zoom, Teams all have full-featured Android apps. Email clients are sophisticated. Calendar apps integrate with everything. Note-taking apps like Evernote and OneNote work perfectly. Cloud storage from Google Drive, Dropbox, OneDrive all integrate seamlessly. For 80% of office workers, Android PC provides everything they need. The remaining 20% who need specialized Windows software, they can use cloud alternatives or remote desktop into Windows machines. The price advantage is staggering. Lenovo's Android PC starts at $249, HP's at $279, Dell's at $299. These are functional, attractive laptops with good screens, adequate performance, all-day battery life. Equivalent Windows laptops start at $499 minimum because Windows licensing and hardware requirements make cheaper impossible. Android PC undercuts Windows by $200, $250. For price-sensitive consumers, which is most consumers, that difference is decisive. They'd rather have Android PC at $249 than Windows PC at $499, especially since Android PC runs apps they already use on phones. The Google strategy that outplayed Microsoft?
After a long time in this industry, I've seen these battles before. Google learned from Microsoft's mistakes, so being the latecomer to this might actually get to play to their advantage.
Google's Android PC strategy is masterclass in competitive positioning. They watched Microsoft destroy Windows through greed and poor user experience, watched manufacturers flee to Linux, recognized opportunity. Android could fill the gap Linux was filling, but with enormous advantages. Google executed brilliantly. First move was securing manufacturer partnerships. Google approached Dell, HP, and Lenovo in late 2024. Pitch was simple. You're moving to Linux because Windows costs too much and customers don't like it. Android is also free, has better app ecosystem than Linux, familiar to users because of phones. Better gaming, seamless sync with phones people already own. Android PC is better Linux alternative. Manufacturers agreed immediately. Android solved every problem Linux solved, plus added massive ecosystem advantage. Google provided extensive engineering support, optimized Android for laptop, desktop form factors, improved keyboard and mouse support, enhanced window management for multitasking, added desktop-style file manager, integrated printing, made external display support seamless, basically took mobile Android and adapted it for traditional PC use cases. The engineering work was substantial. Google invested heavily because they saw strategic opportunity. The positioning was brilliant. Google marketed Android PC as the computer that works like your phone. That's compelling messaging. People love their phones, use them constantly, know how they work. Android PC promises same experience on bigger screen. No learning curve, no figuring out new interface, just bigger version of device you already master. That resonates with consumers intimidated by computers. Android PC isn't intimidating, it's familiar. Price positioning was aggressive. Google told manufacturers, price these $200, $300 below equivalent Windows PCs. We'll subsidize marketing, promote them heavily, make them impulse purchases. Black Friday 2025 will have Android PCs at $199. That's tablet prices for full laptops. Windows can't compete. Microsoft can't subsidize OEMs enough to reach $199 price points. Google can because Android PC drives users into Google's ecosystem. Every Android PC user uses Google Search, YouTube, Gmail, Google Play. Google monetizes through services. Can afford to subsidize hardware to gain users? Retail strategy was sophisticated. Google created premium displays for Android PCs. Interactive demos showing app compatibility. Bring your phone. See your apps on bigger screen. Customers could scan QR code with their Android phone. Demo Android PC would show their actual apps running. Powerful demonstration. Shows concretely that Android PC works with their existing software. Windows can't offer comparable demo because Windows doesn't run phone apps. The consumer response that shocked everyone.
The solution then, Google is combining Android and Chrome OS to make a new OS.
Pre-orders open the 15th of July, 2025. Google projected 2 million units would pre-order globally by launch. Actual pre-orders through August 10, 9.4 million units, nearly 5 times projections. Demand is overwhelming. Lenovo's Android PCs sold out in 40 minutes, in 67 minutes, Dell's in 89 minutes. Manufacturers rushed to increase production allocations, shifted capacity from Windows PCs to Android PCs to meet demand. Customer surveys reveal why demand is so high. 73% of pre-order customers cited price as primary reason. $249 for laptop I can actually use is incredible value. 68% cited app compatibility. I can use all my phone apps on bigger screen. 61% cited familiarity. I already know Android, don't want to learn Windows. 54% cited seamless phone integration. Everything syncs automatically with my phone. Multiple reasons combined. Android PC solves multiple customer pain points simultaneously. Demographics are interesting. 43% of Android PC pre-orders are from people buying their first computer, not first new computer. First computer ever. They've been smartphone-only users. Android PC is entry point to traditional computing because it's affordable and familiar. 29% are replacing old Windows PCs. Tired of Windows, want something simpler and cheaper. 18% are buying second computer. Already own Windows PC for work, want Android PC for personal use. Only 10% are existing Linux users who prefer Android's ecosystem. The first-time computer buyer segment is revolutionary. Google is bringing computing to people Windows never reached. Price and complexity kept them smartphone only. Android PC at $249 with familiar interface makes computing accessible. This is huge market Windows ignored. Estimates suggest 800 million people globally use smartphones, but don't own computers because computers are too expensive or too complicated. Android PC targets them specifically. If even 10% convert, that's 80 million new computer users. Users Windows never captured and never will. Geographic distribution shows Android PC succeeding everywhere. Pre-orders in India, 1.8 million units. Indonesia, 740,000. Brazil, 680,000. Nigeria, 410,000. Philippines, 390,000. These are developing markets where Windows PC adoption was limited by price. Android PC's $249 price point makes computing accessible in markets. Windows never penetrated affordably. Developed markets also show strong demand. US, 2.1 million pre-orders. UK, 520,000. Germany, 470,000. Even wealthy markets appreciate value and simplicity. The Microsoft panic that revealed complete unpreparedness.
How do you feel about the competition?
I've always held a view if you're working in the technology space, there is a lot of competition. We see it all the time. The way you stay ahead is by...
Microsoft had no idea Android PC was coming. Google kept the project secret, codenamed Andromeda internally. Only manufacturer partners and key developers knew. Google announced publicly just 2 weeks before pre-orders opened, gave Microsoft almost no time to respond. The announcement caught Microsoft completely off guard. Microsoft's initial response was dismissive. Press statement: Android is mobile operating system. Windows is designed for productivity computing. We're confident Windows provides superior experience for laptop and desktop users. That confidence lasted about 48 hours, until pre-order numbers came in. 9.4 million pre-orders in 26 days. Microsoft realized Android PC was existential threat, not curiosity. Microsoft's second response was trying to negotiate with manufacturers. Called Dell, HP, Lenovo, asked them to limit Android PC production. Prioritize Windows PCs. Manufacturers refused. Android PC pre-orders exceeded Windows PC sales projections. Why would they limit their most successful product launch in years to favor Windows, which customers increasingly reject? Microsoft had no leverage. Manufacturers are making more money on Android PCs than Windows PCs. Better margins because no licensing fees. Higher customer satisfaction because lower return rates. Higher volume because lower prices drive demand. Android PC is better business than Windows PC for manufacturers in every way. Microsoft's third response was trying to partner with Google. Satya Nadella personally called Sundar Pichai, proposed Microsoft apps pre-installed on Android PC. Microsoft would pay for placement. Pichai declined politely. Google doesn't need Microsoft's money. Android PC's value proposition is better than Windows, partly because it doesn't have bloatware. Pre-installing Microsoft apps would undermine that advantage. Google refused. Microsoft's panic showed in leaked internal communications. Email from Windows division head to leadership team. Android PC is existential crisis. They're targeting price points we can't reach, offering app ecosystem we can't match, leveraging mobile dominance we don't have. We have no effective response. Windows can't become free, shareholders won't accept, eliminating $22 billion revenue stream. Windows can't run Android apps, technical and legal barriers are insurmountable. Windows can't compete on price while maintaining margins. We're strategically cornered. Another leaked email from strategy team, Android PC succeeds for same reasons iPod succeeded. It extends ecosystem users already love to new form factor. iPhone users bought iPods because they integrated seamlessly. Android phone users will buy Android PCs for same reason. We have no equivalent. Windows Phone died. We have no mobile ecosystem to leverage. We're fighting mobile-first world with desktop-only platform. That's losing position. The Bill Gates frustration that it happened again.
If we hadn't made a few really bad mistakes, would have the position that Android has today as the...
Bill Gates spent years warning about mobile. In early 2000s, he told Microsoft leadership mobile would be critical. Pushed for mobile Windows development. Microsoft tried. Windows Phone launched 2010. Failed by 2017. Gates retired from daily operations by then, but watched the failure with frustration. Microsoft missing mobile was strategic disaster, Gates predicted, and tried to prevent. Now mobile is defeating desktop. Android, the mobile OS Microsoft failed to compete with, is coming to PC form factor and winning immediately. Gates sees bitter irony. Microsoft lost mobile to Google. Now Google is using mobile victory to defeat Microsoft on desktop. The platform shift Gates warned about happened. Microsoft failed to adapt. Now they're paying the price. Their desktop monopoly is crumbling because they don't have mobile ecosystem to leverage. According to people close to Gates, he's frustrated current Microsoft leadership didn't learn from Windows Phone failure. The lesson should have been, mobile ecosystem is critical. Users want seamless integration between phone and computer. Whoever wins mobile wins computing long term. Microsoft didn't learn. They abandoned mobile completely after Windows Phone died. Focused exclusively on desktop and cloud. Assumed desktop computing would remain separate from mobile. That assumption was wrong. Google understood mobile and desktop would converge. Built Android PC to enable that convergence. Microsoft failed to see it coming. Now they're blindsided. Gates also sees Android PC as validation of approach he advocated decades ago. Simple, user-friendly, affordable, accessible to everyone. Those were Gates's principles for personal computing in 1980s, 90s. Windows achieved that initially, but modern Windows became complex, expensive, invasive, lost the simplicity and user focus that made it successful. Android PC recaptures those principles. Simple interface, affordable price, accessible to billion-plus people through familiar Android ecosystem. Gates' original vision for personal computing is being achieved by Google's Android, not Microsoft's Windows. That's personally frustrating for Gates. The enterprise shift that comes next. Consumer Android PC success is just beginning. Enterprise is next target. Google is developing Android PC Enterprise Edition for launch Q1 2026. Enhanced security, advanced management tools. Integration with enterprise identity systems, support for legacy Windows applications through cloud streaming. Everything enterprises need to adopt Android PC for workforce. The value proposition for enterprise is compelling. Windows PC total cost of ownership, $1,847 per employee over 3 years. Includes hardware, licensing, support, security, management. Android PC projected TCO, $892 per employee over 3 years. Hardware is cheaper because Android requirements are lower. Zero OS licensing. Support costs are projected 60% lower based on Android phone support data. Security costs lower because Android has better security model. Management costs lower because MDM for Android is mature from mobile deployments. On 10,000 employee company, switching from Windows PC to Android PC saves $9.55 million over 3 years. On 50,000 employees, $47.75 million. Savings are enormous. And pilot programs Google is running with early enterprise adopters show no productivity loss. Employees adapt to Android PC in 2 to 3 days. Most report preferring Android PC because it integrates better with their Android phones. Seamless sync of notifications, messages, calendar. Working on PC and phone feels unified, not fragmented. Google is targeting specific enterprise use cases first. Call centers, customer service, retail workers, roles where employees primarily use web applications and communication tools. Don't need specialized Windows software. These roles represent 60% of most enterprises' workforce. Google can capture these users immediately. Expand to other roles as Android PC ecosystem matures. Microsoft's enterprise Windows business is $12 billion annually. If Android PC captures even 30% of enterprise market over next 3 years, that's $3.6 billion revenue loss annually. If Android PC succeeds like Google projects, could capture 60% of enterprise market, that's $7 billion revenue loss. Microsoft's most stable, profitable business suddenly at serious risk. Where this stands: September 2025. Android PC launches in November with 9.4 million pre-orders already secured. Manufacturers are shifting production capacity from Windows PCs to Android PCs to meet demand. Retailers are giving Android PC premium placement. Developers are optimizing apps aggressively. Enterprise pilots are beginning, and Microsoft has no response. Windows is being attacked from 2 directions. Linux from below, open source, free, community-driven. Android from the side, mobile ecosystem, familiar interface, seamless phone integration. Windows is trapped, can't compete with free, can't offer mobile ecosystem, can't match app selection, can't reach price points. Android achieves. Microsoft's desktop monopoly is being dismantled by mobile operating system they failed to compete with 15 years ago. Bill Gates built Microsoft on Windows, brought personal computing to the world. That era is ending. Not because PCs are dying, because Windows is dying. Android PC will bring computing to people Windows never reached. At prices Windows never achieved. With simplicity Windows never maintained. The world is abandoning Windows for Android because Android respects users, costs nothing, and runs software everyone already uses on their phones. Microsoft has no counter, no strategy, no plan. They lost mobile. Now mobile is conquering desktop. And Windows, the product that dominated computing for 40 years, is becoming irrelevant in 5 years. If this showed you the world abandoning Windows for Android, share it. Because Microsoft won't advertise that Android PC got 9.4 million pre-orders in 26 days. That manufacturers are prioritizing Android PC production over Windows. That Android PC targets 800 million smartphone-only users, Windows never reached. That enterprise pilots prove Android PC works for majority of office workers. That Google is bringing full mobile ecosystem to traditional computers. That Windows can't compete on price, apps, or user experience. Android PC isn't future, it's present, launching November with demand exceeding supply dramatically. And Windows is being abandoned because Google built what users actually want: affordable, simple, familiar computing that integrates seamlessly with phones they already love. Bill Gates panics watching mobile operating system defeat desktop platform he created. But the outcome was inevitable once Microsoft lost mobile and failed to adapt to mobile-first world. The Windows era is ending. The Android era is beginning, and Microsoft can only watch it happen.